Ahoy mateys! Get ready to embark on the ultimate family voyage aboard the magnificent MSC Seascape. Join us as we cast off from Miami for 7 days of Western Caribbean magic. From the splashtastic pools and the swashbuckling Pirates Cove Waterpark to the high-score hustle at the Hall of Games arcade, and let's not forget the delectable dining delights awaiting us at every turn. We're on the mission to discover one simple thing. Does MSC reign supreme as the ultimate bang for your Buccaneer buck? Or are we in for a wild ride on the high seas? Get ready to set sail and find out with us on Family at Sea. Hey y'all, you don't know us as we're new around here, but we're excited to share our family cruising adventures with you. I'm Evan. Much of what you're going to see from us here in the digital world will be from me, but the whole family's involved. That's Mackenzie. She's my amazing wife who's willing to put up my crazy antics, like starting a YouTube channel. And that's Kate, my fearless and kind-hearted daughter who is absolutely crazy about horseback riding. And that's Jackson, my sports and video game loving son who's so much like me at his age that it's not even funny. And together, we are
Family at Sea!
A new YouTube channel focused on sharing our cruising adventures so you can make the best possible memories with your own families. Hey guys, it is cruise day, my favorite day. Today, we're setting off on a 7-day journey on the MSC Seascape with stops in Falmouth, Jamaica, Georgetown, Grand Cayman, Cozumel, Mexico, and even MSC's private paradise at Ocean Cay in the Bahamas. So really excited about this, but that's not it. We've also got a really exciting thing. Something we've never done before, but we scored an amazing deal on a suite in the Yacht Club, which is MSC's ship in a ship concept. These are supposed to be absolutely incredible. They come with butler service and a premium drink package and Wi-Fi and all sorts of other amazing things. So we've never done this before. We're so excited about it. And even better, we get to share this experience with you. So we're just packing up, get ready to go. And we're gonna be here to share it all with you step by step. So stay tuned and thank you for joining us on this journey. Getting in the car and get ready to go. Jackson, Kate, you wanna jump in? All right. All right. We are in here and ready to go. Next stop, Port of Miami Cruise Terminal. We just got here to the terminal and you can see here, this is the tent to the Yacht Club. So we're gonna get checked in here. They'll take our bags and then we'll enter into the Yacht Club lounge and we'll get this journey started. So, all right, now we're heading into the terminal. Hello.
Please have a seat. We will make check-in for you.
Thank you. You ready to get on the ship?
We're ready. That was quick so far.
It was quick so far. Yeah, took just a few minutes to get our bags loaded up and ready to go. Security took all of 30 seconds. And I'm sure the rest of this process will be quick as well. All right, so we got our trusty wristbands. We're all legit and ready to go. All right, you ready, guys?
Ready.
That's you on board.
Thanks, sir.
Following my colleague.
All right. I know you're excited to see more of this beautiful ship, and I'll be honest, I'm excited to share it with you. But first, let's talk about a really important detail. How much does a journey on the Seascape cost a family of 4? Well, let's break it down, because a few factors can really influence your total. The first thing, the cabin type. That's going to make a big difference. For a budget-friendly option, an interior cabin during a quieter week could cost you around $1,500 for a family of 4 when you factor in all the taxes and port fees in addition to the base fare. If you're looking for something with a view, a balcony room during an off-peak time goes for about $2,100, roughly 40% more than an interior cabin. Ocean view rooms, which feature a porthole window but no balcony, are priced somewhere between the two. For those wanting the ultimate in luxury, the Yacht Club suites are where it's at. This exclusive section of the ship, often referred to as a ship within a ship, includes access to the topsail lounge, Yacht Club restaurant, and a private pool deck with its own buffet, pool, 2 hot tubs, and ample lounging space without the crowd. Pricing for these suites typically range between $6,000 and $8,000 for 7 days. Now keep in mind, prices spike during peak times like holidays or summer vacations, so expect to pay more during these periods. Generally though, booking early can secure you the best rates. Although you might stumble upon the random last minute deals if the ship isn't fully booked closer to the departure date, typically With most cruises operating at full capacity nowadays, it's a safer bet to book your vacation well in advance to snag those deals. If you're considering adding a drink package and Wi-Fi for your cruise, the best time to snag these deals is right when you book your trip. While it's possible to purchase these amenities at any point, even when you're on board, you'll find the prices are lowest when you're making your initial cruise booking. Locking in these add-ons early not only helps you budget better, but it's also going to ensure you don't pay a premium later.
And we are now officially on the MSC Seascape. We made it! Woohoo! All right. Thank you. It's quite the entrance. All right, got the DoReMiLand mascot over there. First impressions, this is a beautiful ship. It's amazing. The energy is incredible. Everybody's excited to be here. We're excited to be here. We do a really good job of seamlessly handing you off from one crew member to the next on our journey to the yacht club. So just explain this to us how the elevators work. You can press the deck that you want to go to, and you press it once for each person that's joining you.
Alright, so now back to the exciting stuff. With us checked in and on board, we were escorted to the amazing Top Sail Lounge in the yacht club to await our room being fully readied for us, but it wouldn't take long. As mentioned already, the yacht club is MSC's exclusive ship-in-a-ship concept for guests staying in their suites. We were fortunate enough to snag a great deal on one of these rooms for the week so we could experience what it's like to be truly pampered.
Alright guys, we just got checked into our room here in the yacht club. We're in room 18022. You'll see here all I have to use is my wristband, and it opens right up. And who is that? That's Mackenzie. Hi, Mackenzie.
Hi.
What do you have to share with us today?
I just wanted to take you on a quick tour of our room before we get our suitcases and start putting everything out for our week's stay.
All right, let's see what we have.
All right, when you walk in, there's a shelf that you can put whatever you need there, and then there is the first wardrobe.
Nice closet space. Yeah, this is great. There's so much room.
There's some space underneath as well for shoes. There's an espresso maker. Then I guess on each side of the bed there are some drawers and a nightstand. Drawers up here with space. Hair dryer. A little vanity seat if you need it. More shelving below the TV as well.
That's a nice sized TV. I don't know how much we're going to be using the television, but guys, that is a big TV for this room, isn't it? Yeah, this is great.
And then in here we have our tea and looks like a bunch of different coffee choices.
All right.
That you can make in the morning, as well as different glasses. And then on this side, it has our stocked refrigerator. All of these things are free, and then you can get traded out whatever you like that you would want to put in there if there's anything that you rather not have or something that you prefer.
All right.
Then we have our second wardrobe on this end. This also has drawers and a safe on the side.
The mini safe is a little bit smaller than some we've seen. I don't know that you're going to fit a laptop in there, but there's still plenty of room. Any of your valuables, money, wallets, jewelry, whatever, that'll fit in there fine. So it's actually pretty nice.
And then of course this sofa will pull out into a bed. We have our access to the balcony. Come on out.
All right. What do we have out here?
We have 2 chairs and a footstool, and then obviously privacy walls on both ends. And then again, let's just walk that through and show you the bathroom. It's a very spacious bathroom. There are some spaces that you can put your items underneath, as well as shelving above. And there's another spot down here, and the trash cans down here as well. And then of course there are shampoo, shower gel, and body lotion. You will have to bring your own conditioner if you prefer to have conditioner in the shower as well.
Just check out how much space is in here. So I'm a pretty big guy, but if I'm in here, there is plenty of room. I can play a game of basketball in here if I wanted to. It's got a nice shower head, nozzles, everything you need. Honestly, like, this is all the space. This might be the biggest shower I've seen on a cruise ship, so I'm excited about that. Planning to like sit down if you need to shave, but this is honestly, this is a really nice bathroom.
Where I'm at one end, Evan's at the other, and we can't even touch.
So she might like that. So guys, we're super excited. 7 days aboard the MSC Seascape. This is gonna be an incredible week. We're so looking forward to this. And then we're finally here. So we'll be back soon with more exciting things from the MSC Seascape.
With our carry-on bags tucked away in our room, it was time to explore. And the first thing we wanted to see, you got it, the Kids Club. Kids Clubs are honestly an essential space for any family on a cruise ship. They're a hit for your young ones, but they're also a blessing for parents. They're these vibrant spaces that offer a world of fun for your kids and some well-deserved downtime for the adults. The clubs don't open for kids until the evening of Embarkation Day, which gives you as parents an opportunity to tour them before they do. So if you want to check them out for yourselves, you need to make sure you do that within the first couple hours you're on the ship. We got a detailed tour of each of these kid clubs in a different video, but for now, let's take a peek into the Juniors Club, which caters to 7 to 11-year-olds. This is where our kids forged their new friendships and crafted some pretty unforgettable memories. And I'll just add, these clubs really aren't just about the fun. They're also about fostering independence as the kids learn to navigate new settings and meet new faces. And though it's always tough for them to say goodbye to their new friends at the end of the cruise, the joy and growth they experience on board is absolutely priceless. So let's be honest, what's a cruising adventure without diving into some poolside fun? The Seascape dazzles with 13 different water features, including swimming pools, water slides, hot tubs, and there's even a splash pool for the tots. Over our 7-day voyage, we dipped into each one. While we're not going to dive into all of them in this video, don't miss our dedicated pool tour video where we showcase each one in detail. Now let's talk about the Marina pool on deck 18, one of the 2 main swimming pools on the Seascape. This outdoor oasis features a large screen playing movies and music all day, and has not one but 2 bustling bars, one on deck 18 and another just upstairs on deck 19. A pro tip for you here, the bar upstairs always had a much shorter line, so if you don't mind climbing a few stairs, I highly recommend getting your drinks up there. Alongside the Marina pool, there's also 2 hot tubs. To be honest, these were pretty crowded throughout the entire cruise, so not exactly a serene spot to forget about the world around you, but if you enjoy sitting in a small, crowded whirlpool filled with lukewarm water, this may be the spot for you. It wasn't for us. There's also an equally popular pool called the Jungle Pool. Unlike on many cruise ships, whose indoor pools are typically a quieter solarium space, often for adults only, on the Seascape they instead made this into another great family-friendly pool space. In fact, the best way to describe the Jungle Pool is what would happen if you crossed the once popular Rainforest Cafes with an indoor solarium. To the younger folks watching, if you don't know what a Rainforest Cafe is, ask your parents. On deck 16, they have loungers and chairs surrounding the pool, and a good-sized bar where you can grab yourself a drink. Then on deck 18, overlooking the Jungle Pool, they have ping pong tables, foosball tables, and other fun activities, and even more seating. You guys, in addition to all the great pools the Seascape has, it's also got one of the best water parks on the open seas with its Pirates Cove.
So just keep in mind, you gotta have your wristband here that says you've signed the waiver to be able to go down these, so something to keep in mind.
I'm beating Jackson for sure.
Jackson, is she gonna beat you, buddy?
I'm gonna beat him.
Fair and square, she's gonna beat him. All right. So these go down side by side. This side does not require tubes like the other side. So you can see here these lights at the top that indicate red, and when they go green, it means you can go down. So good luck, guys. Have fun. All right, we're next. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. You ready, Mama?
Ready?
Oh, nah. Whoa. I beat you by a long shot.
I was laying down.
No, really. I beat her. Now, it's possible that that slide's longer than the other one. But at least on that one, I definitely beat her.
I had to stand up at the end of it.
Oh, yeah. Jackson, how was it?
Good.
It was very good? All right, let's go again.
Alright, so let's get down to business and talk about something that may be your make or break thing for your entire cruise experience for some of you. The food. The Seascape is filled with a variety of really great dining experiences. They've got 4 different main dining rooms, a buffet that's filled with all different types of cuisines. And if you're looking for something that's perhaps a step above, they have 5 different specialty restaurants as well. And if you do happen to be sailing in a suite, they've also got the Yacht Club restaurant. And don't forget about room service, as well as a variety of different dessert options at Venchi Chocolate and their gelato. The majority of our meals on this sailing were in the Yacht Club restaurant, but we've been on other MSC ships and tried the different MDRs, and honestly, I think we've been in every single different type of specialty restaurant MSC offers. We really enjoy dining on MSC. We've never had an issue with it. Our favorite of all the different specialty restaurants is definitely Butcher's Cut. This is the Seascape Steakhouse. We're Diamond Voyager Club members, which basically means we've sailed on MSC a bunch. One of the main perks, probably the best perk of all that, is we get 1 free specialty dining experience each sailing for 2. We did have to pay a little bit more for the kids, but that really wasn't a big deal. It's still a great deal. The service at Butcher's Cut is fantastic. They do a really good job of providing attentive service without being over the top and interrupting too frequently, as you can sometimes have happen at some of these higher end restaurants. The ambiance is really good as well. The lighting is just right, so it kind of sets the mood and it feels private, but also it's not so dark that you can't read the menu. My kids also really enjoyed a piece of art that was on our table right behind us. It showed a cow with the different cuts of the steak and where they come from on the cow. So we were able to talk about that, and so we were able to talk about where Jackson's New York sirloin came from, and Kate and I got this gigantic T-bone Zilla steak, and they were all cooked to a perfect medium rare. Mackenzie's a vegetarian, so steakhouses can sometimes be challenging for her to find something, but she got the Hearts of Palm salad and she really enjoyed it. We also had a great lunch at Hola on our first sea day. If you're a fan of Mexican food, you're gonna love Hola. They have this deal where for $18, you can order as much off the menu as you want. We saw a couple of tables nearby that really took advantage of this. I'm pretty sure they took it as a challenge. While the service may not be quite as high end as what we had at Butcher's Cut, the food was still fantastic. I highly recommend all the different sauces, as well as the El Chapo bean and cheese dip. The El Pastor pork taco was my favorite of the tacos, but I liked them all. And don't forget one of their tasty margaritas either. We especially enjoyed the strawberryta. The Yacht Club restaurant was where we enjoyed most of our meals on this sailing, and I'm delighted to share that it lived up to the expectations we had for it. It was honestly exquisite. The service in the Yacht Club restaurant is a cut above what you'll experience across the MDRs, but having dined in a lot of those MDRs on other ships, they're really no slouch either. Something to keep in mind, whether you're in the Yacht Club restaurant or any of the other MDRs, the Italian food on MSC is absolutely fantastic. And it's not just the pizza that you're gonna hear a lot of people talk about, it's all of the Italian food. MSC has Italian roots, and it really comes through in their preparation of all of the Italian dishes. In fact, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, one of the best meals I've ever had on any cruise ship was on night 1 in the Yacht Club restaurant. I had the tortillas stuffed with asparagus and mascarpone cheese, and it was chef's kiss. It was truly fantastic. If they've got this in the Yacht Club restaurant or any of the MDRs while you're sailing on MSC, you've got to give it a try. Let me know if you do and tell me how it is in the comments. Overall, I've read and heard many mixed reviews on the food on MSC, but I've never left an MSC ship hungry. Some meals are better than others, but that's as much on my personal taste as it is the chef's preparation. The service is consistently good. We had a lot of steaks on our cruise, and every single time we got a steak, it was cooked right. It didn't matter which restaurant we were in, didn't matter what kind of steak it was cooked to a consistent temperature every single time. And that's not easy to do on a cruise ship when you're cooking for thousands of people. So we were really impressed by that. Overall though, very happy with the food on MSC, and I think you will be as well. So one of our big goals on this sailing was to try and keep ourselves from packing on too much weight, while also still allowing ourselves to indulge in the amazing food and drinks on board. These are pretty conflicting goals, so we challenged ourselves to do 3 things. 1, we were going to use the steps as often as possible and limit the use of elevators. 2, we'd be sure to walk at least 15,000 steps every day. And 3, we'd spend an hour in the gym every morning before we got the day started. You'll find the gym on the Seascape on deck 8, right by the forward steps and elevators. The gym is spacious, and it's got some incredible views with modern equipment, which is honestly what you'd expect for a ship that's only a couple years old. There's a variety of different cardio machines and weight machines and dumbbells. We've also got a separate room for spin classes and group fitness. And they even have a small store where if you need to buy some gym apparel or shoes or something of that nature, you can buy it right there in the gym. Now, I'll say the gym was extremely crowded on every day of our sailing. To its credit, this was a completely sold out cruise over spring break, so crowds were expected, but One of the areas where we definitely felt this the most was in the gym. The machines all have decals on them that say 25-minute limit, but I don't really think people paid much attention to those. Fortunately, I never had to wait too long to get on the machine. It's just something to be aware of. Go into it with the mindset that you're probably gonna have to wait. If you don't, that's even better. But if you've got that right mindset going in, it'll help you get the most out of your experience. Another pro tip for you guys, you're gonna find the clean towels on the far side of the gym, but the towel return isn't at the same location as where you grab those clean towels like you typically find. It's actually over by the front desk at the entrance. Not a big deal, it just wasn't immediately obvious to me, so I thought it might be helpful for you guys to know in advance. No cruise is complete without at least a little rest and relaxation in the spa. And the Aurea Spa, located right beside the gym on deck 8, is a really good one.
We are heading to the kids club to drop them off for some morning fun before Mackenzie and I head to the spa. We're doing a couples massage, then we're going to spend some time in the thermal suite. Kids, have a great time. I love you. We'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so we're here in the spa. We're getting ready to do our couples massage. Sneaking this in real quick while they're not in the room. I'll show you guys what we have in here, but you excited?
Excited.
Oh, these essential oil things. You can hear the soothing music. Alright, so they're waiting for us right now. I gotta get changed, and then it's time to get a couples massage. Let's find out what it is. Alright guys, so we are all finished with our spa treatment. We had an amazing couples massage, and then we went to the thermal spa, which had a mix of hot and cold water showers and buckets dumping water on you. That one was actually really good. Mackenzie thought it was going to be hot water, and it was cold, and she about jumped out of her skin. Had a hot tub that was actually pretty warm. That was really nice, nice and big. It was really, really nice. That's the first time I've ever had a massage. I really didn't know what to expect going into it. Personal opinion, I think I probably next time would get more like a deep tissue massage. I'd prefer to go a little bit deeper into things, but it was really relaxing. There was definitely a couple times where I started to fall asleep, and I don't know. It was worth it. I'm glad I got to experience it, and even better, I got to experience it with the love of my life. Mackenzie, what did you think of our couples massage?
I thought it was really nice. I definitely, like I mentioned before earlier, I really liked how she was able to dig into my shoulders, where I've been having some pain in my shoulder and arm. So that was really nice to kind of get some of those knots out. And I love being in, like, I guess not super, super hot necessarily, but warm climates. I do not like being cold. So yes, that cold bucket was freezing and definitely a surprise, but I really enjoyed the saunas afterwards.
Pro tip with the snow room, make sure you're wearing sandals on your feet, because I was barefoot and the ground is frozen. I thought it was going to be like that kid in A Christmas Story or whatever, where he sticks his tongue on the pole. I thought my toes and my feet were going to get frozen on the ground. And then the door's pretty heavy, so when I was trying to pull it to leave, my feet kept sliding. It was quite the adventure.
So if you've got a video game junkie kid like I do, they're definitely not going to want to miss the Hola Games Arcade. It's located on deck 18 between the Kids Club and Pirates Cove, and had a lot of games packed into a pretty small area, including a variety of different virtual reality simulators. We had a ton of fun playing the games and winning tickets that we were then able to redeem in their prize machine. I'll say, unfortunately, a lot of those games are out of order, but this seems to be pretty common on all cruise ship arcades. Disappointing, but not surprising. With that said, it didn't stop us from having a great time, as you can see here. If the Hall of Games arcade wasn't enough fun, they've also got an adult arcade on deck 7. Yeah, that's right, the casino. It's a great place to unwind, grab a drink, and just enjoy the moment with some of your friends. One of the recent changes on the Seascape, along with its sister ship, the Seashore, is their casinos are now 100% smoke-free. The smokers do have a dedicated space on deck 8 by the sports bar where you can smoke while playing slots, but it's a small room and it's completely sectioned off from the main casino. With more than 180 slot machines and 14 table games, the Seascape has something for just about anyone. I encourage you to game responsibly, but if you can do that, it is a great place to unwind while the kids are having their own fun in the kids' clubs. On the Seascape, the casino is divided into two sides. with the slot machines populating the starboard side and the table games filling up the majority of the port side. Splitting the casino down the middle is a really great bar with some awesome bartenders. There's also a really nice view of the dueling pianos that you can overlook. And at nighttime when those pianos were playing, people would line up around the railing and just enjoy their drinks, enjoy their company. It was really a neat environment. The dealers were great at all of the table games. They were extremely friendly, but also professional. And while people were having their fun in the casino, you never really had to wait long to grab a spot at your favorite game, even on our sold out sailing. The Chora Theater is the main theater on the Seascape. It's a beautiful theater with digital screens as backdrops that they use to enhance shows you see on the stage. The seating is comfortable. They've even got some larger seats for those that want some additional space. However, while the shows on MSC are entertaining, they definitely pale in comparison to what we've seen on some of the other cruise lines. One of the other drawbacks of the main theaters on MSC versus other cruise lines is they don't have drink service. So if you want to get there early to get a good seat and grab a drink while you wait, you're out of luck. I don't know why they do that, but that's definitely a disappointing decision. So just something else to keep in mind. But you know, so many of the other cruise lines have these amazing Broadway style shows, storytelling shows. MSC is a very just basic style sing and dance sort of show. They're talented performers for the most part, but there's nothing that you're going to be like wowed by it. I guess that's the best way to put it. Several nights they've got guest performers. You know, you've got your staples. There was another musician, magician, things like that. None of them were out of this world. So entertainment, definitely not the thing that you're going to go back to MSC for. But there's lots of other reasons to go back, but entertainment's definitely not it. So I will say there's one nice thing, another pro tip for you guys. There are corridors on both sides of the theater. You know that when people are trying to get out of the theater, it's basically just a huge bottleneck at the exit. So you end up waiting 5 or 10 minutes on the stairs while you wait for people to get out of the theater. Or you just do like we do and you just stay seated, kind of like when you're getting off an airplane and everybody's racing to get off, but you know you're not going anywhere for a while, so you just stay seated. So that's just something that's nice about these MSC theaters. They do have these corridors on both sides, and those don't really get blocked up. So you can go down the corridor on either side and exit the theater without any delay. So that is, to MSC's credit, it's really, really nice and saves you several minutes getting out of the theater after the show. So kudos to you for that, MSC. You've got some work to do as far as the actual shows themselves. Physically, you've got the roots of what could be a really nice theater. Full disclosure, we largely left our party days behind in our 20s, so we're perhaps not the best to give a review of the nightlife on a cruise ship, but we still went out to experience what the Seascape had to offer after nightfall, and it didn't disappoint.
Hey guys, we are here at the Seascape Bar in the main area on Deck 5 on the evening of day 3. This place is popping, so I just want to share with all you guys. So you can see, I mean, this is a beautiful sort of atrium space. It's got a bar that's hopping, lots of people, lots going on. The music's awesome, and there's so much going on. I just want to share with you guys everything you can expect to see here in the main area. Just something to keep in mind here, this is a completely sold out cruise over spring break. So the cruises may often be at full capacity, but this is extra full capacity because there's a lot of children or under 18 that are sailing in the cabins, which full capacity just means 2 per room, but when you've got kids added to that, it goes even higher. So this is deck 6. See, this is the excursions desk. Got the shine bar here. This is a really nice space. Just another bar here. See how popular these spaces are. Just all sorts of excitement. Lots of fun things going on. There's a lot of like really just good vibes, good energy in the space this evening. You've got these beautiful crystal staircases that MSC is known for. It's kind of their signature item. They really are nice. Now we're on deck 7. Deck 7 has another bar over here. This is the champagne and wine bar. It's a little bit quieter than the shine bar and the Seascape bar. Bars were down on decks 6 and 7. It's certainly more crowded than like the cocktail lounges in the yacht club, but it's just a fun energy. Lots going on, lots of really positive vibes. We'll head back down to deck 6. See the underside of this stairwell. This is an area where if you're a chocolate person, this is your spot. There's lots going on here. And over here, you've got some more shops. High-end goods here, Hermes, perfumes, cosmetics, the other side of Venchi over here. All sorts of chocolates. You can get special drinks that feature chocolate. Then over here, where we're about to walk up on, is where they're gonna have the dueling pianos. And hey, you might know them. This is Mackenzie and Jackson and Kate. If you want seats for a lot of these more popular things, do plan to get here early. Seats are there, but if you show up at the last second, you're probably not gonna get one, at least here on a sold out cruise. So they're just doing a countdown here. They counted down from 10, and we got a dueling pianos about to start. I mean, perfect timing. Couldn't ask for anything better there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Times Square. How are you feeling tonight? 1, 2, 3, go! Thank you, proud Mary and Tina Turner team. Start of this night off.
How great is that? Great musicianship, great voices. Definitely something to enjoy. So if you enjoy music like we do, be sure to check out the dueling pianos. I think you'd really enjoy it. All right, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy this, and we'll be back.
So we've saved the best for last, and we actually did this our last night on our Saona, the Seascape. I wish we'd done it sooner, because had we definitely would have done it at least twice. But in any case, can't go back to change the past. But I'm talking about Robotron. This is located at the aft of deck 20, and it's an attraction that you're not going to want to miss, but it's really easy to if you're not specifically seeking it out.
All right, no turning back now. No turning back now.
Keep your head back and your arms inside the vehicle at all times.
Oh boy. All right, good job, ladies. What did you think, Kate?
Kate realized she weenied out and we should have done hard.
Mommy, what did you think?
I would definitely do it again on hard. Didn't really, it was a little jolty, but not like carnival rides are way worse.
All right.
Wait, we can't do it again on the cruise though.
We'll go on another at some point.
Yeah. All right. So you had fun, Kate?
Yeah, I want to do hard next time.
All right, let's go see Trinity, your best friend in the kids club. What do you think?
Yeah!
All right, Jay, you ready?
Yeah!
Jay, what did you think of it?
It was good.
It was good.
Next
A
time
man
you'll
of
be
few words.
taller too, right?
Yep.
So hopefully you'll get
Man
to
of
do
few
medium.
words.
We really didn't know what to expect when we set sail on the Seascape. Our previous MSC cruise was on the Miraviglia out of New York City. While we had a good time overall, it was definitely not one of our favorite cruise experiences. We're going to try to be really objective with these reviews, so to that extent, we've come up with what we're going to call our Cruiser's Compass, which will be an objective way to score our cruising experiences against each other. Some things to note here. Our ratings will be scored on a scale from 1 to 10. However, since 95% of you on the ship will not be in a suite, we're not going to factor the suite experiences into our scores for this. We may be creating content in the future that does focus specifically on the suites, but for this, we're not going to include it. With those considerations out of the way, the categories we'll be scoring things based on are first, crew. The staff on board is potentially the most important part of any cruise experience. You can be on a completely average ship with an incredible crew, and you're going to have a great time. On the flip side of that, even on the greatest ship, if the crew doesn't do their part, you're probably not going to have a very good time at all. Second, dining. Food is one of the things people talk about the most after their cruising adventures, so we want to make sure you know exactly what to expect, not only for the food, but for the service that comes along with it. Third, entertainment. We love a great show, whether it's in the main theater, a lounge, or anywhere else. The entertainment on board is extremely important to us, and we know it is to a lot of you as well. Next, family friendly. For this category, we'll be considering things like How fun are the kids clubs? How many kid-friendly activities are there? How is the staff with the kids? How many different kid-friendly food options are there, and how good are they? And finally, anything else that really impacts the enjoyment of our kids or us as parents is going to factor in here as well. Next, the ship. The ship itself makes a big difference. Is it clean? Have things been maintained well, or a lot of things broken? Are things well laid out? How crowded do things feel? There's a lot to consider here to fit it all into a single category, but we're going to do our best to do exactly that. And finally, value. This category measures the overall experience versus the price paid for the cruise. It also factors things in like how much is actually included in the fare versus things that are an additional cost. And finally, the overall score will be a composite of those 6 categories all added up and then divided by 6. This will be used to objectively measure the total cruise experience on the ship against others as we do more of these. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. How does the Seascape measure up? First, a qualifier. We know that 95% of the people sailing on the Seascape will not be in a suite in the yacht club. So we've done our best to measure this without allowing our experience specifically in the yacht club to influence us in one way or the other. We may do another video where we measure the suite experience specifically, but this video is for everybody, so we're not going to include that here. So with that said, let's get down to business. First up, the crew. While we didn't have any major issues with the crew aboard the Seascape, we also didn't really have any moments that left us thinking, wow, they're incredible. MSC ships tend to have less crew members per passenger than most other cruise lines, which is part of how they're able to keep their costs down. So that means they're stretched thin at times. That's just the reality of it. With that said, we didn't have a problem with the crew either. There was just less personal or friendly sort of interactions than we might have had on other cruise lines. So with that in mind, we're giving the crew a score of 6 out of 10. All right, next up is food. Being in a suite, we only had a single meal in one of the main dining rooms, but we had several in the Marketplace buffet in addition to several of the specialty restaurants. With that in mind, the food we had in the Seascape was all good, and some of it was great. My kids love steak, so they had steak nearly every night in a lot of different restaurants. And there wasn't a steak they had in any of those different restaurants that wasn't cooked to a perfect medium rare. This isn't easy to do when you're preparing food for thousands of people all at the same time. In fact, we were on the Celebrity Ascent over Christmas, and they really struggled with this. So I was quite impressed that the Seascape was able to deliver such a perfect steak every single time. In addition to that, all the restaurants we dined in had some vegetarian options from Mackenzie, even the Steakhouse. So this was impressive as well. One very specific complaint about the food, I'm what you may consider a bit of a connoisseur of creme brulee. It is my absolute favorite dessert. And the creme brulee on the Seascape is done a little bit differently than it is most places you're gonna have it, and not in a good way. I'm not quite sure how to describe what was different about it, but the torched brown sugar on top, I don't think it was actually flamed with an actual torch, maybe just heated up, but it changed the consistency and the flavor, and it just wasn't quite as good. So the creme brulee from me was a thumbs down, but the rest of the food was all really good. All right, so stepping off my creme brulee soapbox. We had a couple of small issues with slow service in some of the restaurants, but honestly, overall, they did an adequate job, and in some instances, they really did a great job. When considering both service and the quality of food, we're going to score their dining a 6 out of 10. If it was the food alone without factoring in service, this may have been a little bit higher, but we are factoring in both. So the couple service issues we did have pushes this down a little bit. So again, 6 out of 10. All right, next up is entertainment. This is one area where we feel like the Seascape is most lacking. There weren't any shows that I would say were actually bad, but there also weren't any that had us walking away truly impressed. And we've seen some really good shows on cruise ships, sadly just not on the Seascape. The onboard performers were average, but some of the singing was off key at times and their timing wasn't always perfect. Their shows were all music based, which by itself isn't necessarily an issue, but there was no element of storytelling in any of their shows either. And honestly, I feel like storytelling can really elevate the value of a show, so that was a little disappointing. The guest performers were also only okay. We've seen some amazing performers on other ships, whether they were singers, magicians, or comedians, but none of them on the Seascape were remarkable. Worth noting here is that these guest performers often change, so they may be better by the time you're on the Seascape, but the ones we saw were nothing special. In addition to the performers themselves, there was nothing visually that was truly impressive or memorable, like what you'd see in the Aqua Theater on Royal Caribbean, for example. So our score here for entertainment was a 4 out of 10. All right, now onto a category that really matters to us. How family friendly are things on the Seascape? This is an area where I think the Seascape truly shines. MSC has done a good job of building a ship experience that is fun for the entire family. The slides on Pirates Cove were some of the best we've experienced on a ship. The pools, especially the jungle pool, were a lot of fun. Although they were crowded, I don't think we've ever been on a cruise ship where the pools aren't crowded. So that's really not something we can score against the Seascape. The crew were all friendly and efficient. In fact, the most memorable experience we did have with a crew member was with one of the lifeguards at the Marina pool. Kate and Jackson loved the kids club. They said it was right up there with Disney in terms of activities, staff, and the friends they made. All of the restaurants did a good job of having kid-friendly options that our kids really liked. While it's not something that MSC can directly control, for a spring break sailing with over 1,000 kids on the ship, the vast majority were extremely well behaved, which we were impressed by. Overall, we're happy to share that MSC has done a fantastic job of creating a family-friendly environment on the Seascape. So our score here is an 8 out of 10. It was extremely family-friendly. And now, the ship itself. If you've ever sailed on MSC, you know they put a lot of effort into making their ships have a luxury look and feel. Their crystal staircases are perhaps their signature thing that people think of when they think the design of MSC. But they do their best to put premium touches across the ship. They've also done a very good job of keeping up with the maintenance across the ship. With that said, because they cram a lot more people onto their ships to keep the cost down, it definitely felt a lot more crowded in some areas. This was especially true in the gym, in the pools, and at the buffet, but also at some of the bars across the ship. With all these things considered, we're giving the Seascape ship itself a score of 8. And had it not been so crowded, it would have been higher. And finally, how good of a value is a cruise on the MSC Seascape? MSC is the lowest cost option of any of the major cruise lines in the United States. They're privately owned, so we don't have visibility into their profitability as a business. MSC has been sailing in the United States for over a decade, so they're not exactly new to the US market, but when I talk to people outside this cruising community, the majority has still never heard of MSC. So I'm not sure if they're currently operating at a loss as they further break into the US market, or if they've just been able to cut costs enough while cramming enough people onto their ships that they're able to maintain profitability while still being positioned as a value cruise. However they're doing things financially, in my opinion, they're absolutely the best value in cruising in the US today. That doesn't mean they're the best cruise in the United States. If you're willing to spend more, there are absolutely better cruise experiences to be had, especially on premium lines like Celebrity and Princess. And there may be even more family-friendly options available on lines like Disney and Royal, but these all come at a premium, and in some cases a pretty hefty premium that's 2, even 3 times more expensive than an MSC cruise during the same week with similar itineraries. There are all sorts of different things that are charged on the Seascape that are in addition to your base fare, but that's not unique to MSC. And even when you add these costs in, it's still a cheaper overall option than your true all-inclusive options. So with all of that said, we're going to score the value of our cruise on the Seascape a perfect 10 out of 10. They really hit it out of the park when delivering the most value for your dollar. So we've scored all of the individual categories. How do they stack up when combined? The Seascape's combined score of 42 divided by 6 categories gives us an overall score of 7 out of 10. I think that's pretty accurate. It was a good cruising experience, but not exceptional. Worth noting, the Yacht Club experience was great, and had we not removed that from consideration here, the score would have definitely been higher, but we'll cover that separately in a future video. So that's it, guys. Our first ever video here on Family at Sea is wrapped up. If you stuck with us to the end, a sincere thank you. While we're just getting started, I can promise you we have much more great content coming your way. I hope you found some value in our review of the Seascape, and I hope you learned a thing or two that'll make your journey even better. We have a lot of ideas for how we can continue to bring you even more value, so be sure to check back often. If you'd consider giving us a like and a subscribe, it'd mean the world to us. But even if you don't, we appreciate you watching us here on Family at Sea. Until next time, happy sails.